Hello there everybody and welcome back to another demo review, and in this episode we're going to be looking at the best strat you've never heard of, and it's one that I basically don't see played in ranked at all, but I've seen a little bit here and there in competitive, and that is East Stairs on border, actually holding it, what that can do for you, how you go about doing it, etc. So we're going to unpack it in today's video. Let's jump into it. Alrighty, so here we are then inside of a custom lobby, and much like I did for the Freezer Stairs on Oregon strat, I'll use this time to sort of explain this position a little bit more, offer some ideas as to how you might want to approach it and what you sort of need to be able to do to pull it off. So here we are on the top of East Stairs, and what you're going to often see and what we'll show in the upcoming demos is teams will have a particular player posted up on this stairs position around about here, and from this spot you can hold a lot of different things. You have the exterior door here leading on to the balcony, you have this exterior door leading onto office balcony, you can also pressure the vault into mezzanine. If you want to get more aggressive, you can also prevent players rotating from break, and you can also back further off and cut off 90. So a lot of different positions that you can hold, as well as even pressuring maybe in waiting room, passport, lobby. There's a lot of different routes and avenues that you can sort of cut down by playing this position. Now, to be able to set it up, the very basic things that you probably want done is firstly a rotation over here on the office triple wall. And from here, you can have a second player posted up pressuring this run in. Can also be in a position to trade picks. So at minimum, for this setup to work, you're going to need to be duo queuing. I really don't think it's very viable to solo queue this, and if you do, you're going to have to play Wamai, and you're going to have to hold a lot of different angles and probably need a bit of luck to go your way. So at minimum, you need a duo. They need to post up here inside of office, be in a tradable position, offer a bit of pressure so that you don't get overwhelmed by the attack. In an ideal world, you probably want a third player for this strat. Now, the reason you want a third is because of waiting room. The pressure down below, it's going to be pretty intense if you're playing against a decent team that wants to dedicate to clearing East. And this third player can lurk around towers, and you can cut down a lot of these positions and rotations in towards waiting, in towards mezzanine, etc. And if this player is really confident on the roam, obviously they can move elsewhere and help other positions around the map if required. So again, just to recap, the reason teams are holding East Stairs, particularly for an archives and armory defense, and even down below for bathroom towers, is because a lot of key positions the attack want can be disrupted by this East Stairs position. You have the entry in towards the stairs itself, the vault into mezzanine, the entry to mezzanine from break, and even pressure 90 if you lose break or CC control, as well as that you can also prevent office pressure from the window, the balcony, and even any players playing really deep looking into archives from the balcony as well. So this power position is actually pretty important depending on the site in which you're defending. And if you want to try it again, probably want a second player posted up in office in this rotation hole, and if possible have a third player lurking down below just to alleviate some pressure if a team that's relatively competent is going to try and clear this. Alrighty, we jump into the first demo then, and this is the Knights taking on Direwolves in APAC South. We're going to look at it from the perspective of Sage. As you can see, he's already made that first rotation inside of office. He'll reinforce the next two walls of triple, and that is going to play into the rest of the setup. For this one, Sage is playing the Legion. I think there's a bit of flexibility as to who you could play in this position. They're actually not bringing Wamai or a Jaeger, so no projectile denial at all here from the Knights. So we'll see how that goes and how Direwolves go about trying to clear this position. It's probably harder to nade than you would otherwise expect, but we'll, again, just see how Sage does try and play this. Styx does get an opening pick, so that does help alleviate some pressure, but Sage is still going to hold this position, keeping in mind that it is a Taller's bathroom defense, so downstairs, and if the attack want control up above and want that vertical presence, they're going to have to deal with the stairs. Direwolves make first contact 30 seconds into the action phase. That's Souffle on the Ash. And as you can see, Sage is posting up and being quite patient at the moment, not really feeling the need to over peak. And that's the way you need to play this position. It's all about being really quite disciplined in the way in which you go about it. Gets out some goo mines as well to perhaps alleviate some pressure as well. And as you can see, there are players down below to make sure he doesn't get pushed from there. Also a player inside of office. Pressure respond here from the Direwolves, but Sage really clean 2k there. And it's a difficult position for the attack to trade because you are tucked in this corner. Harambe, for example, can't get that second pick because of the player providing pressure inside of office. Sage leans into that really nicely. Gets a clean 2k. Really well played. Now, of course, Dar was probably doing a poor job here in not util dumping this position. Again, no Jaeger, no Wamai. So, in theory, this is pretty dangerous for Sage. But he plays it well given the circumstances. A nade does come through, but as ED shows, it is a tricky position to nade. And Quiz will find that kill. If we go back 5 seconds, we'll see the power that this office angle provides. He'll be able to just swing out. Easy swing with his teammate. Gets the kill. And overall, just a really good textbook example of how powerful this position could be. As I mentioned, Direwolves didn't do a very good job in clearing it. But let's be real. In ranked, who the hell is going to be util dumping this position frequently anyway, right? Probably not going to happen all that often. So I think this is a really good example. Alrighty, we jump into the second example now, and just purely by coincidence, it is once again the Knights. I don't believe they're the only exclusive team to play it, but these were just the examples that I sort of managed to stumble across that were quite good. This time, Quiz actually playing the castle. So again, it's a very adaptable position. Sage also is bringing Wamai on this occasion, so the Knights respecting the util clear here from Wildcard and expecting some more pressure on this position. Castle barricades will aid in soaking up some util and a bit of time. And the Wamai discs, if those magnets are placed on east stairs, could play a role as well. Sage currently over towards CCTV. We'll see whether or not he actually aids Quiz in this position. Additional vert as well, down below. So some pressure from waiting room as well from the defense can be provided. And a bulletproof camera as well. So you can see there's quite a bit of variation that you can bring to this particular site. Bring your own flare, bring your own comforts. It's going to immediately be droned out and the castle barricade dealt with by Wildcard. So again, we're at this 30 seconds into the round, much like last time. Already first contact with the defense. That's the nature of Border. And we'll see how Quiz looks to play and waste as much time and util as possible here. Drone goes past. He's just peppering out shots, not over peaking too much. Looking to try and deal with that drone, but it is a bit of a nuisance. Needs to be careful that he doesn't over peak though. If he gets too hungry for the drone and he reveals just a fraction of his head by going too high up the stairs, there's a player already posted up on east to clear him. So instead he backs off, plays passive, knows that he's not going to get pressured from waiting. Another 30 seconds has passed in the meanwhile, and Wildcard's still playing quite static. We'll have a look at the overhead to see how they're actually looking to try and deal with this. Player posted up on vents, player on the east stairs door, and there's also a player further up north on the archives stairs rappel as well. So not heaps of immediate pressure, but again, important that Quiz doesn't over peak and overexpose himself. A second player now comes alongside. Molosca does get lit up. That's going to be the sign for Wildcard to try and push this. They try to send it in with the Finca, but it actually doesn't work out. So Quiz did a really good job here just to find that kill still. Managed to avoid the flash quite nicely. As you can see here, poorly timed by Wildcard, but still got a kill. He wasted half the round, wasted a little bit of util, and probably frustrated Wildcard a little bit. Now, to Wildcard's credit, they did trade the pick. It's not the worst play ever by them. They probably just mistimed the flash by a second. And showing that, especially if there is no util projectile denial there, which I don't think there was from the Knights in the end, maybe it's not too hard to clear with flashbangs. So if for whatever reason you end up encountering this setup in ranked, which I doubt you will, because I've never seen it in ranked, really important that you try and time flashbangs for a trade-in if that's the kind of strat you want to go for. Tricky position to nade, so that might be the best alternative. So I hope this quick little video offered something new for you. Again, a strategy I haven't seen used in ranked, but has been frequently used, at least across Apex South from what I've seen. East stairs on border. Give it a try, especially if you're on at least a duo queue, which should be viable. Let me know how it goes. And of course, let me know if you have any other video ideas. But with that said, please like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.